Good morning, dear students. Myself, Mahesh Rajput, and today we will discuss uh, about the anatomy and physiology of the human ear. As discussed in the previous classes, we just have a review of the structure and functions of the uh, human ear. The humans are provided with two important organs for sensing information carried by waves: the ears and the eyes. Both are the sensory organs. The ears help in the sense of hearing and the eyes helps in the sense of vision. They both organs works on the basis of waves or rays. The ears works on the sound waves and the eyes help on the basis of light rays. The ear is the organ for hearing. It is divided into three parts: the outer, middle, and inner part. The outer one part is called outer ear, and middle one part is called middle ear, and the inner one part is called inner ear. The outer ear is composed by the pinna. Auricle means another name of the pinna is called auricle. Second one is the auditory canal, also called acoustic meatus or ear canal. Second one is the middle ear, composed by eardrum, ear ossicles. These are stapes, incus, and malleus. Third one, ostian tube. And the third part of the ear is inner ear, composed by cochlea, vestibule, and semicircular canals. The nerve which give the nerve supply to the inner ear is called vestibulocochlear nerve. The vestibulocochlear nerve is a sensory nerve, and it's formed by the combination of two nerves. Is the means bifurcated into two nerves, cochlear nerve and vestibular nerve. The vestibular nerve gives nerve supply to the vestibular part of the inner ear, and the cochlear nerve gives nerve supply to the cochlear part of the inner ear. The vestibular part transfer the impulses, electrical impulses or nerve impulses, for the sense of body balance, and the cochlear nerve transfer the electrical impulses or nerve impulses for the sense of hearing. Parts of the ear: outer ear, middle ear, and inner ear. You can see in the diagram the part, it's a pinna, is a part of outer ear. The ear canal is slightly S shaped, and you can another name of this canal is auditory canal or acoustic meatus. Is the third the lowest part of this, the pinna, is called lobule. And the structure of ear canal, the two-third portion of this ear canal is covered by the cartilage, hyaline cartilage, and remaining one-third portion is covered by the cartilage. The name of those cartilage are hyaline cartilage, and the two-third portion, remaining portion of this acoustic meatus is covered by the bone. It's a temporal bone, or you can say the most of things of the ear is present within a cavity which formed within the temporal bone. Second one part is the middle ear. It's composed by the eardrum. You can say this one structure is the eardrum, and three ear ossicles. Those are malleus, incus, or stapes. These are the smallest bone of the human body. And one ostian tube. This one tube is the ostian tube, which maintain the air pressure of the middle ear. And third one portion is the inner ear. So this one portion is called inner ear, the bluish part. This coiled structure is called cochlea. You can see cochlea, and supplied by the cochlear nerve. And the middle portion and these three canals are called semicircular canals, or this one middle portion is called vestibule, and the vestibular nerve gives nerve supply to this vestibular part. So these are the parts of the ear. We will discuss about these all parts one by one. First, see the parts of the ear. Outer ear, you can see in the chamber. Outer ear, it includes the auricle and acoustic meatus. This is the middle ear, which include the eardrum or ear ossicles, stapes, incus, and malleus. And this one is the inner ear part, which include the cochlea, vestibule, and semicircular canals. And these all structure connected with the brain by the help of nerve. The nerve name of this nerve is auditory nerve, or you can say vestibulocochlear nerve. See, the outer ear. You have you seen the picture of satellite? Picture a satellite dish that collect radio waves. The outer ear is similar. The curved formation on the outside the pinna help funnel sound down the ear canal or acoustic meters to the eardrum. The outer ear, first one part pinna, receive the sound waves from the environment that travel through the auditory canal or ear canal and reflect onto the eardrum, or you can say tympanic membrane, auditory canal, ear canal. The acoustic meters act as a funnel with an approximately length of 2.5 centimeter and leads to the eardrum, means help the transferring the sound waves from environment to eardrum or tympanic membrane. Also protect the eardrum from shock and instruction by external objects. See, previously I told you that the structure of acoustic meters is slightly S-shaped. Because of this property, means because of the slightly S-shaped structure, it help us to shock the uh, absorb the shock, means help to protect the inner structure of the ear by any one external stimuli, means no one external stimuli cannot come directly contact with the eardrum. The middle ear. The middle ear transfers the energy of a sound wave by vibrating the three bones found there. These three bones are stapes, incus, and malleus. First, when the sound waves are collected by the pinna and they will transport into the uh, acoustic meters or ear canal, these all sound waves reflected on the eardrum or tympanic membrane. Tympanic membrane is a cone-shaped piece of skin about 10 millimeter wide, means it's a very thin layer. It is very sensitive. Even the slightest pressure variation. Besides this tympanic membrane, means inside or outside, the pressure variate. It will cause it to vibrate. Means when the pressure will change inside or outside of the tympanic membrane, means it will start to vibrate, separate the outer ear from the middle ear. Is another function or another property of this tympanic membrane or eardrum. It separates both of the part of the ear, means middle or outer ear. Ear ossicle, smallest bone in the body. Because I told you these are the smallest bone of the uh, human body, and out of these three, the stapes is the smallest bone in the human body. See, first one is the malleus. It's connect directly with the eardrum or tympanic membrane. It's called hammer bone. Why? Because the shape of this bone like as hammer. Long handle attached to the a tiny bone that process vibrations from the eardrum to the anvil, means the one portion of this malleus bone or hammer bone is attached with the eardrum, and remaining another free end is attached with the anvil bone, or you can say incus bone. Incus, also called anvil bone. Why? Because the shape of this bone like as anvil, a tiny bone that passes vibrations from the hammer to the stirrup, because the one end of this anvil bone is attached with the malleus and the another end of this anvil is attached with the incus bone. Stapes, or you can say stirrups bone. It's the shape of this stapes is like a strap, means cap of cattle. A tiny U-shaped bone that passes vibrations from that stirrup to the cochlea, means just receive the vibrations from the incus or anvil bone and just transfer these sound vibrations into the cochlea, means the part of middle ear, by the oval window. This is the smallest bone. Means the I previously told you that stapes is the smallest bone in the human body. It is 0.25 to 0.33 centimeter long. Bones of the middle ear. You can see in the diagram. First one, hammer bone, or you can say malleus bone. It's because of hammers it's called hammer bone. Second one is the anvil. The shape of this bone like as anvil, that's why it's called anvil bone. And third one is the stirrup bone, because the shape of this bone like as the cap of cattle, that's why it's called stapes or stirrup bone. This blue color part is eardrum, and this red portion are the cartilage which help in the attachment of these bones, ligation of these bones on their particular places. Ostian tube, a tube that connect the middle ear to the back of the nose, means we can say a tube which started from the middle ear and opens into the posterior surface of the pharynx. It's called Ostian tube. The function of this tube is equalizing the pressure between the middle ear and the air outside the body. The inner ear, third one portion of the ear is called inner ear, composed by cochlea, vestibule, and semicircular canals. Because the semicircular canals and vestibule both are help in the sense of body balance. So we are not including these parts in the structure of sense of hearing, because in the sense of hearing the part of inner ear only is cochlea, which play an important role. This is the cochlea, means a coiled structure which shown in the diagram in the red color is called cochlea, is a coiled structure. Cochlea, this is a spiral tube that is covered in a stiff membrane, contains thousands of hair cells attached to the end of the organ of the auditory nerve called organ of Corti. Means the structure of cochlea is a tube-like structure which arranged or organized in a coiled form, and the inner surface of this tube is formed by hair cells. Means many more hair cells, more than 1,000 hair cells are present within the inner surface of this cochlear structure tube, and all these hair cells have nerve endings, and these nerve endings are called receptors, and these are the nerve ending of cochlear nerve, which is a part of vestibulocochlear nerve or auditory nerve. When the inner ear, means the cochlea, receive the sound waves from the stapes, they create motions within these hair-like cells, and when these hair cells will move, they stimulate it. Means the nerve ending those present within these hair cells are stimulated, and after the stimulation they just create or generate an electrical impulse which is called nerve impulse, and this nerve impulse help us to hear what are the sounds present besides our body. Cochlear hair cells, the tiny hair bands, because of the vibrations caused by the thousand waves. The auditory nerve, the tiny hair cells of the cochlea are set in motion by vibration. The vibrations stimulate tiny nerve cells, and the nerve cells then send signals along the auditory nerve to the brain. What is the auditory nerve? These nerves receive the electrical impulses generated by the ear and passes this information up to the brain so it can be interpreted. See, I just explained a review of physiology of hearing. First of all, the sound waves which generated by any one sound system or any one structure, these sound waves traveling in the atmosphere or environment, and when our ear receive these sound waves, and the part of ear is called pinna, which receive these sound waves and collect after collecting these all sound waves and transferred into acoustic meters or ear canal, and these sound waves reflect on the eardrum or tympanic membrane. Due to these sound waves, the pressure of inner ear and outer ear is changed. That's why the tympanic membrane will start vibrations, and the tympanic membrane attached with the malleus bone, and malleus attached with the incus, and incus attached with the stapes, and stapes attached with the cochlea. That's why these vibrations transferred from tympanic membrane to malleus, malleus to incus, incus to stapes bone, stapes to uh, the structure of cochlea. Then these vibrations transferred into a structure of cochlea. The hair cells, these sound waves uh, create some motions within the hair cells, and hair cells contain nerve endings, and these nerve endings will stimulate by the motions. When the vibrant sound waves create motions within the hair cells, the nerve endings will stimulate it and generate a electrical impulse, or you can say nerve impulse. And this impulse transferred to the brain by the help of auditory nerve, or you can say vestibulocochlear nerve. And the specific part of the brain, it's called hearing center, receive these impulses and decode it or interpreted this sound nerve impulses, and uh, we have sensed that what are the sounds which those are present surrounding us. Semicircular canals, these loop of fluid filled tubes, three tubes that are attached to the cochlea in the inner ear, they help us to maintain the sense of balance, and they supplied by the part same vestibulocochlear nerve, but a single part, that is vestibular part. The working of human ear is in such a way that sound waves. Previously, I also explained you or told you two times about the same process. Working means the physiology of human ear is in such a way that sound waves travel from the outer ear to the middle ear, which are then transmitted to the inner ear in the form of compressional waves. In the inner ear, the compressional waves perceived by the brain. This way, we can hear and differentiate various sound types. So, this is the structure and functions, or you can say anatomy and physiology of the ear. Thank you.